There are days when my heart feels slow, not empty, not gone, just slow. Like it is relearning how to move, how to stretch, how to feel without fear. And I used to think healing required effort, a push, a breakthrough, a moment where everything changed at once. But now I understand. Healing unfolds in its own time, and you are not rushing me. I will not force my healing. I will not hurt my heart. You are not asking me to run. You are asking me to stay. You tend to me like something sacred, not something broken to be fixed. I will not force my healing. I will open when I am ready. There is a new softness in me, subtle, unsteady but real. It shows up in small ways, a deeper breath, a quiet noticing, a moment where I don't brace myself to feel. And you celebrate even that. You do not ask for the full bloom, you honor the sprout. You do not measure progress by pace, you measure it by presence. I will not force my healing. I will not apologize for the slow return. You are not disappointed in the pace of my becoming. You are walking with me in every step. Your love is not pressure. Your love is room. I will not force my healing. You are holding space for me. If I open slowly, stay. If I open unevenly, stay. If today I only open a window, not a door, stay. You are not asking me to bloom on command. You are loving me into wholeness. Stay with me as I grow. I will not force my healing. I am letting it happen, breath by breath, moment by moment. You are not in a hurry, and I do not need to be there. I am safe to unfold. There is a place inside me that has grown tired of trying, not broken, not defeated, just weary from holding too much for too long.
I used to think strength meant enduring, pushing through, standing tall even when it hurt. But I don't wanna push anymore. I wanna be held, and you are not asking me to be strong first.
Strength finds me here, in the stillness, in the softness, in the place where I finally put my guard down. You do not demand that I rise, you rest with me until I do. Strength is not something I chase anymore. It comes back when I am loved.
I used to armor myself in silence, thinking vulnerability was dangerous, that softness meant I could be hurt.
But I am learning now, soft things are not weak, soft things grow, soft things heal, soft things remember how to live. And you protect my softness as if it were sacred. You do not rush the return of my courage. You sit with the trembling. Strength finds me here, not in effort, not in performance, but in presence. You do not pull me to my feet. You wait until my heart is ready to stand again.
I am not strong because I try. I am strong because I am.
If strength comes slowly, stay. If hope comes quietly, stay. If today all I can do is rest, stay. You are not loving my resilience, you are loving me. Stay with me as strength returns. Strength finds me here, in the gentleness, in the patience, in the love that does not hurry. I am not behind, I am not failing, I am unfolding, and you are with me. There are days my heart moves like the ocean, pulling in, pulling out, changing shape without warning. Some moments feel steady, and some come crashing hard, leaving me breathless, wondering if I am too much, too tender, too easily moved. But you never call my own. Our fire stay through every time. When the waves rise inside me, you do not step back, you do not tell me to calm down. You stand in the water with me, knee deep, heart deep, present. You are not afraid of how I feel. You call my depths sacred.
I used to try to hold myself still, to silence the swell, to smooth the surface so no one could see the movement beneath.
But you are the one who made the ocean meet. You are the one who shaped my tides. I am not meant to be motionless, I am meant to be alive.
You do not ask me to be smaller than my soul.
When the waves rise inside me, you don't rush the water to settle. You breathe with me until my heart finds rhythm again. You do not fear the swells, you move with them. You are the peace, even the way. If I rise and fall slowly, stay. If I rise and fall wildly, stay. If I rise and fall without knowing why, stay. You are not loving the calm version of me. You are loving the living one. Stay with me in every tide. When the waves rise inside of me, I am not lost to you, I am not too much, I am not unstable, I am simply deep, and you are here in every swell. I've spent so long trying to hold myself together, trying to stay composed, trying to be the steady one. I learned how to quiet my feelings, how to fold myself small, how to pretend I did not need to be held. But the truth is, I do. And you are not ashamed of that. You have never asked me to be unbreakable.
You hold me
Without asking, no explanations, no performance, no perfect version of me required. You make room for my trembling. You stay through my unraveling. I am not loved because I am strong. I am loved because I am yours. You hold me without asking. I used to believe I had to earn gentleness, prove I deserve comfort, show that I could carry the weight alone. But you look at the part of me that is tired and call it precious, not weak. You do not rush my healing, you honor my humanity. You hold me without asking. You don't tell me to be better or faster or clearer. You stay in a space where I cannot speak and still call it enough. Your love is not a requirement, it is a resting place. You hold me without asking. If I fall apart, stay. If I go quiet, stay. If all I can do is breathe in your presence, stay. You are not waiting for me to be okay. You are loving me here. Stay with me as I soften. You hold me without asking, and I no longer fear being seen. I am not too much, I am not too soft, I am not unfinished to you. I am held exactly as I am. I have lived a long time outside of myself, showing up for the world while leaving pieces of me behind. I learned how to keep moving without ever arriving, how to survive without really being here. But now I am learning to return, not quickly, not completely. And you welcome every inch of my arrival. I'm learning to be here, to feel what I feel, to stay in my own body, to not run when it gets tender. You are not asking for perfection, just honesty. You sit with me as I come home to myself. I used to hide from my own heart, afraid of its depth, its softness, its truth. you look at the vulnerable parts of me with a gentleness that makes me want to stay. You do not turn away from my softness. You call it sacred. You are not afraid of my becoming.
I'm learning to be here,
Not all at once, but breath by breath, moment by moment. You do not rush my unfolding, you honor it. Your presence gives me permission to stay.
if I open slowly, stay. If I waver, stay.
If today all I can do is not leave myself, stay.
You are not loving who I pretend to be.
You are loving who is returning.
Stay with me as I come home.
I'm learning to be here, and you are here with me, not ahead of me, not waiting on the other side, but right where I'm standing. I am not alone in the return. I am not too late. I am finally here.
There is something quiet growing in me, something small, something gentle, something I almost forgot how to feel. It does not come with fireworks, it does not rush in with certainty. It's a warm, a tender stirring, a soft awareness that I am not who I was, and I am not done becoming. And you see it even before I do. Something quiet is growing in me, a new beginning without announcement, a healing that doesn't need to prove itself. You guard the tender places the way a gardener guards the first bloom. I don't have to hurry,
I don't have to force it. Life is returning to me slowly, and you are protecting it.
I have been afraid of hope before, afraid it would collapse, afraid it would leave a afraid I would reach out and find nothing.
But this time, it is not loud, it is not dramatic. It is a breath of courage, a hint of light, a quiet yes I didn't know I still had in me. And you treat that yes like treasure. You do not ask my spirit to bloom on command. Something quiet is growing in me, not rushed, not forced, not demanded. You stay close enough to feel the tiny shift, the subtle warming, the small return of trust. My healing is not a performance, it is a seed. And you are staying while it grows. If I grow slowly, stay. If I grow unevenly, stay. If my becoming comes in small waves of light, stay. You are not waiting for the finished garden. You are loving the sea. Stay with me as I bloom. Something quiet is growing in me, and you are here, patient, present, and hurried and not late. I am not behind, I am simply beginning, and I am not alone. There are moments now, small and almost unnoticed, where I feel a warmth inside that I thought was gone forever. Not joy exactly, not yet, but a loosening, a softening, a gentle opening in the parts of me that once stayed close to survive.
Something in me is waking,
And it feels familiar. And you are patient as I remember myself. I can feel myself returning, not suddenly, not loudly, but truthfully. You don't pull me forward, you walk beside me as I learn how to breathe again. I am not rushing, I am not forcing, I am simply coming.
I spent so long trying to disappear, to quiet my heart, to not feel too much. I thought shrinking would keep me safe, I thought silence would keep me unseen. But you look at the smallest spark in me and call it beautiful. You honor the parts of me that tremble. You don't ask me to be certain, only present. You do not hurry what is sacred. I can feel myself returning, slowly, softly, in ways I cannot explain aloud. You do not measure my progress in steps, you measure it in presence. I am not trying to prove anything, I am simply allowing myself to exist. And you are here. If I come back slowly, stay. If I come back unevenly, stay. Some days I forget how far I've come, stay. You are not loving the version of me that is finished, you are loving the one becoming. Stay with me as I return. I can feel myself returning, and I am not afraid anymore. I am not late, I am not broken, I am not lost. I am simply growing back into my own life with you beside me. There was a time when my heart went quiet, not because it didn't feel, but because it felt too deeply to bear. So it hid, folded itself small, waited in a dark room within me, hoping the world would soften before it tried again. I didn't lose myself, I protected myself. And you never asked me to force my reopening. My heart is learning how to speak again, not loudly, not clearly, but truly. You are not asking for eloquence, you are listening for honesty. Even the smallest whisper in me is enough for you. There are feelings waking up that I do not have names for yet. Not happiness, not sorrow, something in between, something tender, something real. And I am letting them rise without explaining.
justifying without apologizing. You honor the language of my heart, even when it is unfinished. You treat every raw moment as sacred. My heart is learning how to speak again, not for the world but for itself.
You are patient with my unfolding.
You are gentle with my return.
Every tremble, every breath, every quiet emission you receive as worship. If my voice shake, stay.
If I lose my words, stay. If all I can do is feel, stay. You are not waiting for clarity. You are loving the becoming. Stay with me as my heart remembers how to live. My heart is learning how to speak again, and I no longer fear its voice. I am not too much. I am not unfinished. I am returning to myself, and you are here listening. There are places in me still taking shape, curves unfinished, edges untouched, I have not entered in years. I am not complete, but I am not lost. I am a work in progress, held in hands that are not in a hurry. And you are patient with every unfinished line. I am still being formed. I am not late. I am not behind. I am unfolding at the pace love allows. You do not force my becoming. You shape me with gentleness. I am a creation still in progress, and you call me beautiful, even now. There were seasons where I tried to mold myself alone, tried too hard and tried to become unbreakable. But I was never meant to be unmoved. I was meant to be softened, stretched, warmed into shape. that press to control me. They guide, they cradle, they listen. You do not demand completion, you honor formation. I am still being formed, I am allowed to be unfinished. You see potential, not absence, becoming, not lacking. I am learning to trust the process, because I trust the one shaping me. If I take time, stay. If I reshape slowly, stay. If some days I feel like soft clay again, stay. You are not frustrated with the pace of my growth. You are here, hands warm, heart steady. Stay with me as I become. I am still being formed, and that is not a flaw, it is a miracle. I am not finished, and I am not alone. The one who shapes me does not rush love. I am safe to become. There are parts of me I kept behind closed doors, curtains drawn, lights dimmed, afraid that if they were seen they would be too much. I learned how to disappear while still being present, but now something in me wants to step into the light again, slowly, gently, without rushing. And you are not afraid of what comes forward. There is room for me here, not when I'm certain, not when I'm strong, but now as I am. You don't require smaller versions of me. You make space for the whole. Your love is not walls. Your love is room. I used to shrink myself to keep the peace, thinking I was protecting others from my death, my tenderness, my truth. But you look at the fullness of who I am and call it intentional, not accidental. You do not ask me to hide, you ask me to remain. You are not uncomfortable with my honesty. There is room
just giving. You expand around my presence. You do not retreat from it. Your love is not scarcity. Your love is spacious. If I open slowly, stay. If I tremble, stay. If being seen feels new again, stay. You are not waiting for my confidence. You are loving my emergence. Stay with me as I come forward. There is room for me here, even in the becoming, even in the learning, even in the unsteady return. I am not too much. I am not unwelcome. I am held in a love that expands to fit me. For a long time, I thought feeling meant breaking. That to open my heart was to open a wound. So I wrapped myself in silence, held my breath, kept my hands still, as if stillness could protect me. But something in me is tired of hiding from my own death. And you have never turned away from the fullness of my heart. I'm not afraid to feel anymore. Not because I'm stronger, but because I am held. You stay through every rise, every tremble, every flood of emotion. You do not shame my softness. You call it life. I'm not afraid to feel anymore. There were days I thought numbness was peace, that quietness was safety, that emptiness was control. But peace is not the absence of feeling. Peace is the presence of love when feeling comes. And you sit with me as emotion returns, not pushing, not guiding, just staying. You do not hurry my heart into clarity. I'm not afraid to feel anymore. You don't ask me to explain my tears, you simply hold them. You don't ask me to make sense of my ache, you honor it. My heart does not overwhelm you, it moves you. I'm not
break and fall again. Stay if I don't know what I feel. Stay. You are not asking for certainty. You are loving the human in me. Stay with me as I return to my own heart. I'm not afraid to feel anymore. I am learning to trust what stirs in me. I am not too deep, I am not too tender. I am alive, and I am held through it all. There is a quiet shift in me, barely visible, barely spoken, a softened corner of my heart I didn't expect to return. Not a breakthrough, not a flood, just the slightest opening, but it is real. And I feel it. You notice every subtle change in me. The smallest opening is still enough. You do not ask me to swing wide. You meet me in the sliver, in the nearly whispered yes, in the almost trusting breath. You do not need my certainty. You stay with my beginning. The smallest opening is still enough.
I have spent so long protecting the parts of me that feel, hiding tenderness like something dangerous.
You do not treat tenderness like risk. You treat it like treasure. You do not push the window wider. You place your hand gently on the frame and wait with me.
You value presence more than progress.
The smallest opening is still enough. Not forced, not rushed, just real. You do not measure the size of my yes. You honor the courage it took to offer it. I do not have to open fully today. I only have to remain.
The smallest opening is still enough.
If my heart opens slowly, stay.
If it hesitates, stay. If Today all I can give is a single breath of willingness. Stay.
You are not asking me to leave. You are sitting with me at the window. Stay with me as I learn to open the smallest opening is still enough, and I am enough in the state of opening. I am not behind, I am not late, I am only softening, and that is holy. You meet me here exactly as I am. There was a time when I believed healing meant movement, progress, steps that could be counted, a timeline that could be proven. But now I see my heart does not heal in straight lines. It opens, closes, rests, and tries again. And none of that is failure. You are not measuring the pace of my return. I'm not rushing my return. I'm letting myself arrive the way new warmth fills a room. Slowly, without force, without fear of being seen. You stay with me through every pause. You hold space for every breath. I do not have to hurry to be loved. I used to apologize for my tenderness, for the way emotion rises in me like something vast and unnamed. But you do not ask me to contain myself. You do not shrink at the depth of my feeling. You sit with the fullness of who I am, not to control it, but to honor it. Your love does not speed me up, it slows me down into myself. I'm not rushing my return. I am not racing to reach some finished version of me. You are here in the middle, where I open and close, where I trust and hesitate, where I rise and rest again. I am loved in the unfolding, not the around, but
If I return unevenly, stay. If I need silence, stay. If today my courage is small and quiet, stay. You are not waiting for who I will be one day. You are loving who is here now. Stay with me as I learn to stay too. I'm not rushing my return. I'm not rushing my return. My pace is not a problem. My softness is not a flaw. My becoming is not behind. I am coming home slowly, and I am held the whole way. There are threads in me that once came loose, pulled thin from trying to hold too much. Places where I frayed, where I unraveled quietly in ways no one else could see. I thought the unraveling was the end. I thought once undone, I could not be gathered again. But something is stitching now, and you are gentle with every strand. My heart is being woven back to itself. Not quickly, not tightly, but true. You do not tie knots to control me. You weave to restore me. Every soft return to feeling, every small step toward myself is part of the pattern. My heart is being woven back to itself. There were seasons where I let go of pieces of me just to make it through the day, and I blame myself for the unraveling. But you do not call it failure, you call it survival. You honor the part that kept breathing, and now you gather what fell lost without demanding explanation. You do not force the weave, you follow the shape of my becoming. My heart is being woven back to itself. Thread by thread, memory by memory, breath by breath. I do not have to understand the pattern, I only have to remain. You restore what I thought was gone, gently. If I meant slowly, stay. If some threads are still loose, stay.
If I need time before the pattern is clear, stay. You are not finishing me in a hurry. You are loving me into wholeness. Stay with me as I return to my own way. My heart is being woven back to itself, and I am not broken for having unraveled. I am being gathered softly, honored and made whole by gentle hand. There are corners of my heart that stay dim, quiet, unspoken. Not because I don't wanna be known, but because some feelings are still learning how to stand in the open. I thought I needed to drag them into the light to be worthy of love, but you did not ask for that. You came to where I was.
You sit with me
In the shade, you do not rush the light. You do not call the quiet parts wrong. You do not hurry my unfolding. Your love is not a spotlight, it is presence. You sit with me exactly where I am.
I have dim rooms inside me where old ache still sleeps, where memory hangs soft and heavy, where the heart beats slower, careful.
I used to avoid those rooms, afraid of what I would find, afraid of how deep I go. But you opened the door without fear, without judgment, without expectation. You call the room home. You do not ask the shadow to disappear. You stay with it, you stay with it in the shade. You do not pull the curtain open. You wait for my heart to decide when to let light in. Your love is not demand, it is shelter. I am seen, even in the dimness.
If I stay in the shade longer than I expected,
Stay. If brightness feels too sharp today, stay. If the quiet places speak slowly, stay. You are not waiting for clarity, you are loving presence. Stay with me as I learn to trust the light again. You sit with me in the shade, and suddenly I am not afraid of my death. I am not too much, dark. I am simply human, and I am held. There are moments when I don't know what I feel, when the world inside me is quiet, but not calm, still, but not settled.
I reach for words and they scatter. I try to understand and the meaning slips away.
I do not know how to explain myself, but I wanna be understood. And you do not ask me to speak. You stay beside me without a word. You do not fill the silence. You do not ask for clarity. You do not demand meaning. Your presence is enough. You remind me I do not have to be understood to be held.
I used to think love needed language, that I had to name every year to be worthy of comfort. But you know the shape of my silence. You read the room of my heartbeat. You recognize the tremor without needing explanation. You do not interpret me. Your love is fluent and quiet. You stay beside me without a word. No pressure, no hurry, no correction. You do not try to fix the silence. You honor it. I do not have to speak right now. I am still held. If I sit quietly, stay. If I sit unsure, stay. If I sit without answers, stay. You are not waiting for me to become clear. You are loving me as I am. Stay with me in what cannot be explained. You stay beside me without a word, and in your stillness I learn to breathe again. I am not unseen in my quiet. I am not lost in my silence. I am a company. I am known. I am held. I have been holding myself up for a long time. Shoulders tight, breath shallow, heart guarded. Even in quiet rooms, I stay prepared,
ready to brace, ready to defend against a storm that isn't here anymore. I forgot what it feels like to just rest. And you offer me a place to set myself down. I can rest here without explaining. I don't have to justify my tired heart. I don't have to earn softness. You are not asking for strength I don't have. You are giving me space to breathe. Rest is not a retreat, it is a return. There were days I believed that to pause was to fail. The stopping meant losing ground, that gentleness would undo me. But you show me a different way, that laying my head down is not surrender, it's trust. You are not threatened by my fatigue. You gather it. You don't rush me back to standing. I can rest here without explaining. You don't ask me to be brave today. You don't ask me to rise quickly. You sit with me where I am, and that is enough. Rest is not weakness, rest is healing. If I need a while, stay. If I stay quiet, stay. If all I can do is exhale slowly, stay. You are not waiting for motion. You are loving the stillness. Stay with me as I remember how to be held. I can rest here without explaining. I am safe in this slowing. I am safe in this softness. I am safe in this return. I am not falling behind. I am coming home. I have carried myself for so long, trying to stay composed, trying to seem steady, trying not to shake. Even in silence, my heart stayed guarded, as if the world might ask more than I could give. But now something in me is tired of holding holding so tightly, and you don't ask me to carry this alone. Wrap me gently in your peace, not to hide me, but to comfort me. Not to silence what I feel, but to make space for it. Your peace is not a command, it is a covering. You hold me without tightening your hands.
There are days when I feel so tender I could dissolve. Days where emotion sits right under my skin, ready to spill, and I used to panic at that softness. Afraid it meant I was fragile, afraid it meant I might break.
But you treat my tenderness as something holy.
You do not rush me into strength.
You let strength rise naturally. Wrap me gently in your peace, not as escape, but as belonging. You do not tell me to get up quickly, you stay with me while I rest. Your peace does not cover me to hide me, it holds me so I can feel safe enough to unfold. If I soften slowly, stay. If my courage comes in small breaths, stay. If all I can do today is not collapse, stay. You are not loving the strong version of me. You are loving the true one. Stay with me as I rest. Wrap me gently in your peace. Let my heart remember it does not have to brace anymore. I am not too soft, I am not too tired, I am simply human, and I am held. There is a place inside me that finally unclenches when I stop trying to rise too fast, when I let myself sit, when I let myself be.
I am not tired
Because I am failing,
I am tired
because I have held too much for too long.
but here
I can set it down,
and you are not waiting for me to get up.
I don't have to stand up yet. You are not calling me to move. You are sitting its strength return on its own. I am allowed to rest in the middle of becoming.
I have forced myself to rise so many times, out of fear of being too slow, out of fear that I would be left behind.
But you do not leave, you do not step ahead, you do not ask me to catch up. You match the pace of my breathing. Your love is not a command, it is a chair pulled up beside me. I don't have to stand up yet. You are not disappointed in my stillness. You are not impatient with my tenderness. The world may call this pause weakness, but you call it trust. I am not behind, I am in process. If I need time, stay. If I close my eyes for a while, stay. If today all I do is breathe with you, stay. You are not asking me to perform, you are offering me presence. Stay with me as I learn to stay with myself. I don't have to stand up yet. I am not late, I am not failing. I am resting into who I am becoming, with you beside me. I don't have to stand up yet. I am not late, I am not failing. I am resting into who I am becoming, with you beside me. There's been a soft curtain between me and myself, thin enough to see through, but thick enough to live behind. Not a wall, not a lock, just a layer of protection I didn't know how to put down. I lived carefully so I wouldn't be seen too deeply, but you never asked me to tear it away. The curtain is lifting slowly, not by force, not by command, but by warmth. You don't pull, you wait, you wait, you stay, you breathe with me, until I remember how to open. You honor the pace of my unfolding.
I used to think closeness required certainty, that I had to understand myself before I let myself be known.
But you sit with a part of me that is unsure, that is new, that is still forming shape. You do not correct the trembling, you welcome it. You do not ask me to be clear, you you ask me to be here. The curtain is lifting slowly, only as far as I allow, only as my heart can hold you. Don't ask me to reveal everything. You stay for the smallest opening. Your love does not demand sight, it offers safety. If the curtain moves only an inch, stay. If it falls back sometimes, stay. If I forget how to open tomorrow, stay. You are not waiting for the dramatic reveal. You are loving the gradual return. Stay with me as I learn to live without hiding. The curtain is lifting slowly, and I am not embarrassed by the pace. I am not late, I am not behind. I am simply opening in the way my heart knows how. And you are here, patient, present, gentle. There is a small light I carry inside my ribs, quiet, steady, unassuming. It does not burn brightly, it does not flare, it does not demand to be seen, but it is there. Even when my voice was silent, even when my heart was tired, even when my hope was thin, it stayed. Small living warmth, waiting for me to notice. And you never asked it to be part of the room. This small light I carry inside is enough. You do not ask for a flame, you do not ask for a fire. You honor the ember, you place your presence around my tenderness and call it holy. This small light is not insignificant to you. I used to fear the dimness, thinking I had lost something, thinking I had failed to keep myself burning. But now I know brightness is not the measure of life. Sometimes a heart glows quietly while it gathers itself, while it rests, while it breathes in. Stay close enough to feel the warmth. You do not hurry my flame into brilliance. This small light I carry inside is enough. You do not ask me to perform passion, you do not ask me to rise dramatically. You sit with the If the light flickers, stay. If it dims in exhaustion, stay. If all I have is a faint warm stay, you do not love me for the flame, you love me for the spark. Stay with me as it grows again. This small light I carry inside is not failing, it is living, recovering, breathing, becoming. And I'm not required to shine, I am simply allowed to be held, kept, cherished. There is a place in me that I thought I had lost, a small room inside my chest with warm air, quiet corners and a seat that fits only me. I haven't sat there in a long time. I stayed at the edges of myself, afraid to return, afraid it might be empty. But the room is still here, it never left.
And you waited for me to remember it.
There is a place in me that is still mine, untouched, unruined, unlost. You do not force me to enter, you open the door and sit with me in the doorway. You do not rush my return to myself, you let me choose to come home.
I spent years thinking I had to earn belonging, even inside my own body, even inside my own heart.
But you show me home is not something I build, home is something I remember. My heart did not forget me, it was waiting. You are not calling me to be some new, you are guiding me back to the one who was always here. There is a place in me that is still mine. You don't rearrange it, you don't repaint it, you don't repair it. You sit in the quiet with me until I feel safe enough to sit too. Your love is not instruction, it is invitation.
If I enter slowly,
Stay.
if I stand in the doorway for a while,
Stay.
if I back away,
And return again. again tomorrow. Stay. You are not waiting for the moment I'm fully here. You are loving every moment of the return. Stay with me as I reclaim my own heart. There is a place in me that is still mine, and I am not afraid of it anymore. It is not too late to come home. I am not too lost to be found. I am not too tired to be welcomed. I am here, and you are here. I used to think closeness had to be bold, a leap, a surrender, a dramatic return. But my heart does not move that way. It steps quietly, carefully, with tenderness, not haste. And you honor the quiet step.
You never asked me to arrive suddenly.
I am coming closer, softly, not running, not rushing, not forcing a moment of certainty. You meet me in my nearness, not my speed.
Every small step toward you is seen.
Every breath of a willingness is enough. I am coming closer, softly.
There were times I thought I had to be sure that I needed clear answers or perfect faith before I approached you.
But you do not ask for certainty, you ask for honesty. And honesty is quiet, sometimes trembling, sometimes uneven. Still it comes.
You do not measure how far I have left to go.
You notice how far I have already come. I am coming closer, softly, not to prove anything, not to earn anything, but because something in me remembers you. You wait in the nearness, not the distance. Your love does not demand arrival, it welcomes approach. I am coming closer, softly. And I am not afraid of the pace. I am not behind, I am not late. I am not uncertain because I'm weak. I am simply gentle with myself now. And you are gentle with me. I thought if I sank, I would break. I thought if I lowered myself, I would disappear. But there is a difference between collapse and coming home to the ground. My heart isn't failing, it's resting. It's finding where it belongs. And you don't pull me up, you sit with me where I land. I am not falling, I'm returning to the ground. I am letting myself be held by something steadier than my strength. You don't ask me to rise too soon. You don't fear my softness. You meet me in the settling.
There were days I stood too tall, too rigid, too determined to prove I could hold everything alone. But my bones were never meant to hold the world. My heart was never meant to stay lifted forever. Coming down is not losing, it is letting myself be real.
And you do not rush the returning.
I am not falling, I'm returning to the ground, to the place where breath settles, where heart unclenches, where I do not have to pretend I'm unbreakable. You do not measure my worth by how high I stand. You meet me lower. If I rest here, stay. If I need longer, stay. If the ground is where I feel safe right now, stay. You are not waiting for the moment I rise. You are loving the moment I release. Stay with me on the ground. I am not falling, I'm returning to the ground. And I am not ashamed to lay myself down. This is not the end of me, this is the beginning of breathing again. I am here, and you are here.
expectation, old words I didn't choose. It repeated everything I thought I had outgrown.
But the echo is fading now, not suddenly, not dramatically, but gently, like dust slipping across the floor. I can finally hear myself
Again, and you don't rush the quiet into clarity.
The echo is fading gently, and I am not afraid of the silence. Silence is not empty. Silence is where my heart returns to its own voice.
You sit with me in the quiet, not asking for sound, not waiting for words, you just stay. There were days I filled every space with movement, with speech, with music, with effort, because stillness felt like exposure.
But now I know
Stillness is sanctuary, a room inside my chest where nothing is demanded of me. It's where you meet me without performance. You do not correct my quiet, you honor it.
the echo is fading gently, and I am not trying to replace it. I do not need loud faith or passionate certainty or perfect praise. I need presence, and you are here.
If silence is all I have, stay. If words come slowly, stay. If my worship is a quiet breath instead of a song, stay. You are not waiting for my voice to return. You are holding me while it rests.
The echo is fading gently, and I am not afraid of the quiet anymore.
I am still here, you are still here. Nothing has been lost, only noise. What remains is real. I have held everything so tightly, my plans, my fears, my reasons, my defenses. My hands learned to close long before my heart did.
I thought holding meant surviving. I thought releasing meant losing. But My hands are opening now, slowly, gently, without force.
And you are not prying them open, you are simply waiting. My hands are opening slowly, and I am not afraid of what may fall. Not everything I let go was meant to stay. Not everything I carry was meant to be held forever. You are teaching me the difference between holding and being held.
I used to fear the emptiness that open hands meant emptiness, that release meant absence. But open hands are not empty.
They are ready, ready to receive, ready to rest, ready to breathe. And you do not rush my loosening. My hands are open slowly, and I am not ashamed of the pain. This is not surrender as defeat. This is surrender as relief. You do not ask me to grip harder. You ask me to soften. If I let go one finger at a time, stay. If I tighten again tomorrow, stay. If I forget how to soften and remember again slowly, stay. You are not waiting for the moment I release completely. You are loving me as I learn how.
My hands are opening slowly, and I'm not losing anything I need.
What remains is what is real. I am held, I am safe, I am seen. I am not holding on alone. I wore a fragile soul, soft like remembering gently. I didn't know what I was feeling. I couldn't find the words to try. My heart was heavy with its silence. I wore a fragile soul, soft like remembering gently. I didn't know what I was feeling. I couldn't find the words to try. My heart was heavy with its silence. And you stayed anyway, but you didn't leave me in the quiet. You didn't ask me to explain, you simply stayed beside the stillness and held so softly to the pain. You didn't rush my healing through. You stayed when I withdrew. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak, when all I had were tired tears and weakened weeks. You didn't need me to be strong, you held the silence all along. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak. You stayed with me. There were days I felt too fragile, days I didn't trust the light. But somehow in the quiet moments you made room for day and night. You didn't call me less or broken, you didn't try to make me rise. You only let my breathing settle, and in the hurt held by my eyes, you didn't ask me to be clear. You just waited near. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak, when all I had were tired tears and weakened weeks. You didn't need me to be strong, you held the silence all along. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak. You stayed with me. Stay in the quiet. Stay as the heart learns peace. Stay with me now as the tremor cease. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak, for knowing what my soul couldn't say deep and in the quiet. You stayed, my containment heart was gently laid. Thank you for staying when I couldn't speak. You stayed with me. I was sitting in the shadows, holding sorrow like a cloak. Every breath felt heavy on me, every word remained unspoke. I was trying not to tremble, I was trying not to fall, but you didn't fear the breaking, you just met me through it all. You didn't tell me to be stronger, you only told me I was held. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were looking into mine. When I couldn't hold my hope, yours was holding me in time. You didn't ask me to be whole, you just stayed and made me safe. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were already there with grace. I was quiet in the evening, where the light was fading low, but you stayed beside the silence, like a fire's gentle glow. Not a thunder, not a shaking, not a push to stand again, whisper saying softly, I am here, you're not alone. You didn't ask me to be open. You waited for my heart to breathe. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were looking into mine. When I couldn't hold my hope, yours was holding me in time. You didn't ask me to be whole, you just stayed and made me safe. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were already there with grace. Stay with me in the quiet, where the healing learns to rise. Stay with me in the stillness. Teach my heart to recognize. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were looking into mine. When I couldn't hold my hope, yours was holding me in time. You didn't ask me to be whole, you just stayed and made me safe. When I couldn't lift my eyes, you were already there with grace. I was holding every moment like it might all break apart. Every thought was trembling softly, every beat a cautious heart. But you didn't ask for courage, you didn't ask me to be brave. You just sat with all my quiet in the places I couldn't name. You were gentle in the silence, you were steady in my fear. You sat with my heart when it didn't know how to start. You held every tear like it mattered just to be here. You didn't force the healing through, you simply stayed and saw me true. You sat with my heart and it learned how to start. I was fragile in the evening, like the fading of the day. But your presence was a warmth that helped the dark feel far away. Not a fire burning loudly, not a push to make me rise. Just a quiet love, unspoken, soft reflection in your eyes. You were patient with my breathing, you were calm within the ache. You sat with my heart when it didn't know how to start. You held every tear like it mattered just to be here. You didn't force the healing through, you simply stayed and saw me true. You sat with my heart and it learned how to start. Stay here in the quiet, let my heart remember peace. Stay here in the stillness, where my trembling finds release. She sat with my heart when it didn't know how to start. You held every tear like it mattered just to be here. You didn't force the healing through, you simply stayed and saw me true. You sat When the night fell quiet on my heart and I couldn't see the road ahead, I felt the shadows growing long. I felt the weight of words unsaid. But even when I lost direction, even when I couldn't move, your presence softly wrapped around me, like a whisper warm and true. You didn't ask me to be ready, you only asked me to return. Lead me back to you when my heart forgets the way, when I wander in the silence and my steps begin to fade. You are near, you are steady, you are faithful, you are true. When I cannot find myself, lead me back to you. There were moments I was trembling, afraid of what my hands had dropped. But you were never disappointed in the places I felt lost. You didn't speak in rushing thunder, you didn't push me to be new. You just waited in the stillness till my soul remembered you. You didn't ask me to be ready, you only asked me to return. Lead me back to you when my heart forgets the way, when I wander in the silence and my steps begin to fade. You are near, you are steady, you are faithful, you are true. When I cannot find myself, lead me back to you. Lead me back to you when my heart forgets the way. You are near, you are steady, and you're with me every day. When I cannot find myself, lead me back to you. When my thoughts were turning quiet and the world felt far away, I didn't know what I was reaching for. I just knew I couldn't stay. But you were there inside the stillness, in the places light was thin. voice that shouted loudly, but a peace that drew me in. You didn't rush my heart away. You waited for the smallest take. You are near, even here, in the calm, in the fear, in the breath that barely rises, in the silence I can't clear. You are near, even here. You are near, always near. When the questions felt like mountains, too heavy for me to climb, you didn't hand me all the answers. You just stayed with me in time. I don't have to see the ending. I don't have to know the way. Your presence is the guiding that will carry me today. You didn't rush my heart away. You waited for the smallest day. You are near, even here, in the calm, in the fear, in the breath that barely rises, in the silence I can't clear. You are near, even here. You are near, always near, even here. You are near, even here. You are near. You are near, even here. You are near, always near. I've been holding on so tightly, afraid of what I might lose. But my heart is growing weary. I don't have the strength to choose, so I come with open fingers. Let the weight fall where it lands. If there's anything I'm keeping, I lay it in your hands. I lay it in your hands. Every worry, every fear, every hope I couldn't carry, every tear I couldn't clear. You have been my quiet shelter. You have been my resting place. So I lay it in your hands, and I trust your gentle grace. I don't need to understand it. I don't need to see the end. understand. You just stay and hold me softly as I lay it in your hands. I lay it in your hands. Every worry, every fear, every hope I couldn't carry, every tear I couldn't clear. You have been my quiet shelter. You have been my resting place. So I lay it in your hands, and I trust your gentle grace. Here I am, here I am. Take my heart, take my plans. Here I am, here I am. All belongs to your hands. I lay it in your hands. Every worry, every fear. You are kind, you are patient, and I know that you are near. So I lay it in your hands. I lay it in your hands. I used to beg my heart to open, to be faster, to be clear. I tried to rush my own unfolding, as if growth could ignore fear. I pulled the petals of my being, hoping beauty came from force. But every time I tried to hurry, I only drifted from my source.
You didn't ask me to become.
You waited for the becoming to come. I stopped forcing my own bloom. I let the seasons have their room. You didn't tear the winter down. You stood with me inside the brown, and in the soil of slow and true life rose quiet as it knew. I stopped forcing my own bloom with you.
I thought healing meant achievement, something measured, something won. But now I see it's more like water, moving softly toward the sun.
The heart won't bloom because it's told to. It blooms when safety finally stays, and you became the steady presence that let my roots reach through the clay. You didn't hurry me to rise. You let me meet my own surprise. I stopped forcing my own bloom. I let the seasons have their room. You didn't tear the winter down. You stood with me inside the brown, and in the soil of slow and true life rose quiet as it knew. I stopped forcing my own bloom with you. With you. Stay with me here, where time feels kind. Stay with me here in the undesigned. Stay with me here, where roots take hold. Stay with me here, where growth is bold.
I I stopped forcing my own bloom.
I trust the patience of the room. You didn't change me overnight. You kept a candle through the night. And now my heart in gentle bloom opens like a quiet room with you, with you. The night is quiet, but my thoughts are loud. Shadows moving like a restless crowd. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I know the one who holds all things. I'm not fearless, I won't pretend. I've been breaking in my hands again. But you don't ask me to be whole, you just stay and steady my soul. Even in the dark I know you are here. You are close, you don't leave me on my own when the light feels far from home. Even in the dark I know you are here. You are close. I've been running from my quiet fears, trying hard to never shed the tears. But you don't rush the heart to mend. You heal slowly like a friend. You speak gently to the wounded part, not accusing, only guarding my heart. You don't step away when I break, you stay near in every ache. Even in the dark I know you are here. You are close, you don't leave me on my own when the light feels far from home. Even in the dark I know you are here. You are close. You are close. Even here. Even now. Even in the dark I know you are here. You are close. Even when the light is slow, you are here. You are I have nothing loud to offer, no great words to lift the sky, but my heart is here and open with the quiet that I cry. You don't ask me for a fire, you don't ask me to be strong. You just sit with me in silence till my breathing carries on. Here in my stillness, you don't need to see. Here in my stillness, you are my peace. I have walked through days of empty, where the light forgot my name, but you met me in the shadows, and you held me just the same. You don't hurry broken healing, you don't press me to be whole, you just keep a gentle rhythm with the beating of my soul. Here in my stillness, you are my peace. Here in the quiet, your presence is enough for me. I don't need answers, I don't need to see. Here in my stillness, you are my peace. Stay with me, stay with me. You are all I need. Here in my stillness, you are my peace, and your presence is enough for me. I don't know what comes tomorrow, and I don't need to understand. You have never failed your promise, so I'll rest inside your hands. My breath is small, my strength is fading, but you are steady, full of grace. I will sit within your quiet till your peace becomes my place. Hold my heart while I wait. I will trust you in the late, when the night is slow to break. Hold my heart while I wait. Hold my heart while I wait. When I don't know what to say, when my hope feels far away, hold my heart while I wait. I have tried to move the mountains, I have tried to fill the air, but you remind me I am human, and you meet me in the prayer. reach you. I don't need to prove I care. I just need to sit in stillness. You are already there. Hold my heart while I wait. I will trust you in the lane. When the night is slow to break, hold my heart while I wait. Hold my heart while I wait. When I don't know what to say, when my hope feels far away, hold my heart while I wait. You are near, you are near, you are near, even here. Hold my heart while I wait. You are steady, you are safe. In the dark or in the day, hold my heart while I wait. I don't have a practice prayer, no perfect words to speak, but I know you're not looking for the parts of me I keep. So I lay down my defenses, I let my breathing slow. If all I bring is honesty, I know you'll meet me so. I come as I am tonight, no more trying to be right. You already see my heart, you already hold my life. I come as I am tonight, and you call me yours still. You are the peace I have needed, and you always will. I've carried quiet burdens no one ever saw me hold, but you were there in every moment, in the tears I didn't show. You don't ask me to be stronger, you don't rush the healing through. You just stay inside the silence till my heart remembers you. I come as I am tonight, no more trying to be right. You already always will. I am yours, I am yours, even now, even now. I come as I am tonight, and you call me yours still. You are the peace I ever needed, and you always will. When the winter felt unending and the night refused to break, you were steady in the silence. You were mercy in the wait. When my strength was slowly fading and my hands were giving way, you were shelter like a heartbeat. You were breath enough to stay. I remember who you've been, faithful through the thick and thin, present in the quiet ache, with the love that does not shake. I remember who you've been and who you'll always be, the one who never leaves. When the questions fill the hallway and the answers felt far off, you were kindness in the shadows. You were calm beneath the loss. You didn't ask me to be certain, you just let me lean and rest. And the way you held my trembling was the way I learned what's best. I remember who you've been, faithful through the thick and thin, present in the quiet ache, with the love that does not shake. I remember who you've been and who you'll always be, the one who never leaves. You were there, you are here, you will be unchanging. I remember who you've been and who you'll always be, the one who never leaves me, the one who stays with me, the one who stays with me. I've been running with my own strength, holding everything I can't keep, but my heart is tired of trying, and my soul is losing sleep. So I come with empty hands now. I don't have a plan to bring, just a quiet aching question. Can you hold me while I breathe? I don't need to understand, I just need to trust again. I will rest in your name, in the shelter of your grace. When the world falls heavy on me, you are still my quiet place. I will rest in your name when my striving has to end. You are strong when I am fragile. You are faithful without end. I have walked through days of silence where the night felt thick and cold, but you met me in the stillness with the love that gently holds. No, you didn't rush my healing. You just stayed and let me be, till the burden slowly loosened and my heart began to breathe. I don't need to understand, I just need to trust again. I will rest in your name, in the shelter of your grace. When the world falls heavy on me, you are still my quiet place. I will rest in your name when my striving has to end. You are strong when I am fragile. You are faithful without end. You are steady. You are holy. You are near. You are near. You are steady. You are holy. You are near. You are near. I will rest in your name, in the shelter of your grace. You are strong when I am fragile. You are faithful without end. I've been holding worries like a fire, burning quiet in my chest. But you meet me in the quiet places where my breathing learns to rest. You don't tell me to be fearless. You don't tell me to be strong. You just let your kindness settle like a hymn I've known all along. In your gentle hands I can finally breathe again. You don't rush the heart to stand. You just hold me where I am in your gentle hands, in your gentle hands. I have tried to carry every answer like the world was mine to hold, but you whisper through the trembling spaces that I don't have to control. You remind me I am only human, but I am loved by one who stays. You are steady in my darkness. You are mercy in my days. In your gentle hands I can finally breathe again. You don't rush the heart to stand. You hold me where I am in your gentle hands, in your gentle hands. You are here, you are near. I am safe, I am held in your gentle hands. I can finally breathe again. You don't rush the heart to stand. You just hold me where I am. I've been moving without thinking, trying hard to just get through. But the rushing leaves me empty, and it always leads to you. You don't ask me for performance. You don't ask me to be strong. You just open up your presence and invite my soul to stop. Let my heart be still with you. Let my breath return to truth. I don't need to strive or prove. I am safe here in this room. Let my heart be still with you. Let my heart be still with you. Every burden I've been holding, I have held it far too long gone. But your gentleness reminds me I was never meant to carry all. You don't rush these quiet moments. You don't push the pain aside. You just sit inside the silence till the fear begins to die. Let my heart be still with you. Let my breath return to truth. I don't need to strive or prove. I am safe here in this room. Let my heart be still with you. Let my heart be still with you. You are here. You are near. I am known. I am held. Let my heart be still with you. I walk through shadows long and deep, where silence held the air I breathe. I thought the dark would be my friend, but even there, your mercy came again. You didn't shout, you didn't strain. You broke the quiet like gentle rain. Not forcing joy, not pulling tears, just letting love draw near. Oh, you meet me where my heart can move, not too fast and not too soon. Light finds me here. Light finds me here. Light finds me here. I try to carry what was never mine, the weight of time, the shape of time. But you remind me I'm not the stars or holds the sun. You teach my soul to rest again, to let the day begin within. Not rushing forward, not turning back, just letting grace hold what I lack. Oh, you meet me where my heart can move, not too fast and not too soon. Light finds me here. Even when I fear I'm fading low, love holds me near. Even when I feel I cannot grow, I don't have to rise to be received. Your presence is the air I breathe. Light finds me here. Light finds me here. You are with me. You are steady. You are holy. You are gentle. You are with me. You are steady, you are holy, you are here. Light finds me here. Even when I feel I'm losing ground, love keeps me near. Light finds me.